Others are fast-moving.
Unlike other big rallies,
Bit earlier at about 7 a.m. A group from the Coast Guard.
Welcome to #PHVote 2013.
Today on Rappler.
I challenge the chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee na i-compel niya ito. Obligahin si Secretary de Lima na ilabas ang listahan ito. I think he should resign as chairman of the Committee of Blue Ribbon Committee.
Senator Revilla tells Senator Guingona, get the list of corrupt lawmakers or resign from the committee. Newly appointed Presidential Assistant for Agriculture Francis Pangilinan vows to clean up problematic agencies. And a diver dies while trying to retrieve bodies from the sunken South Korean ferry. Hello, I'm Natasha Gutierrez sitting in for Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. Senator Bong Revilla challenges the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee to force the Justice Department to release the list of lawmakers allegedly involved in the pork barrel scam. 2 weeks ago, alleged mastermind Janet Napoles implicated at least 12 senators and over 100 congressmen in the list she gave Justice Secretary Laila de Lima. De Lima has repeatedly refused to release the list, pending verification unless the Senate compels her to do so. Revilla wants Blue Ribbon Committee Chair T.G. Guingona to compel de Lima to release the list.
Ngayon, I challenge the chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee na i-compel niya ito. Obligahin si Secretary de Lima na ilabas ang listahan ito. Yan lang.
If he doesn't, sir, what if he compel the Senator?
I think he should resign as chairman of the Committee of Blue Ribbon Committee.
Revilla and Senators Jinggoy Estrada and Juan Ponce Enrile face plunder charges for allegedly diverting lawmakers' funds. Estrada criticizes de Lima for her, quote, double standard in refusing to release the list.
Well, a reporter, I watched her over the TV being interviewed, where a reporter asked her, are the 3 senators included? Sabi niya, yes, absolutely. Nung tinanong siya, what about other senators, other congressmen, or cabinet secretary? Well, we're still evaluating. That's unfair. But what's there to evaluate? What's there to vet? Unfair sa amin tatlo. Bakit kami tatlo lang kami tatlo ang dinidili?
Former Senator Francis Pangilinan rejoins government as Presidential Assistant for Food Security and Agricultural Modernization. Pangilinan takes his oath before President Benigno Aquino Tuesday. A source close to Pangilinan tells Rappler the former senator will be handling the problematic agencies currently attached to the Agriculture Department. Pangilinan would have oversight functions over 4 agencies: the National Food Authority, the National Irrigation Administration, the Philippine Coconut Authority, and the Fertilizer and Pesticide Authority. Pangilinan says, quote, the President said, I am here to help clean up these agencies, so addressing this includes allegations of corruption and smuggling. Pangilinan's appointment comes at a time when Agriculture Secretary Proceso Alcala is being linked to irregularities and questionable transactions. But Pangilinan says he and Alcala will work hand in hand to oversee the 4 agencies and that his appointment does not mean Alcala is failing in his job. Foreign Affairs spokesman Charles Jose defends the new military deal that would allow American troops increased access to Philippine military bases. Critics hit the signing of the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, or EDCA, for bypassing the Senate. But Jose says the department does not consider the deal a treaty that would require Senate approval.
Point of view, EDCA is only in furtherance and implementation of our 2 treaties with the U.S., namely the 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty and the Visiting Forces Agreement. So, since this is only an implementing agreement, we don't think it would require Senate concurrence.
The new deal comes as tensions rise between the Philippines and China over disputed South China Sea islands. Jose repeats the Philippines' commitment towards a peaceful resolution of the dispute. He rejects China's call for a bilateral approach.
Of course, China would prefer the bilateral approach, and we all know this strategy of
Lugi tayo sa bilateral approach.
yes, because they're big, small economically,
Right.
militarily, they're powerful, we are weak. They talk with you on the one hand, but on the other hand, they do something else. Like they were talking to us, and yet at the same time, they occupied Ayungin Shoal. They are driving away our fishermen using water cannons. And in Ayungin Shoal, they are blocking us from supplying our Marines.
Senate Defense Committee Chairman Sonny Trillanes files a resolution calling for a legislative inquiry into the deal. Citing public clamor, Trillanes says there appears to be, quote, an imperative need to review the EDCA in order to clarify its coverage and contents. The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, resumes voters' registration Tuesday in preparation for the 2016 national elections. COMELEC encourages voters who still don't have biometrics data to validate their records so they could vote on May 9, 2016. The registration in local COMELEC offices will be open 6 days a week, including Sundays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The registration period will run up to October 31, 2015. Existing voters may check the status of their registration record by visiting the poll body's website, comelec.gov.ph, or by going to their local COMELEC office. The COMELEC expects 3 million new voters in 2016. For our social media post of the day, in the Philippines, more government agencies are using Twitter to directly interact with the growing social media savvy population. Aside from the Metro Manila Development Authority, the Philippine National Police has a Twitter account at PNP Hotline that attends to netizens' alerts and complaints and tweets advisories, but it has a sense of humor too, telling people to binge eat instead of doing drugs, to not get into shady summer jobs, and replies to a man looking for a gun to kill his karaoke crazy neighbor. Only those who sing My Way get gunned down. A diver working at the site of the ferry disaster in South Korea dies Tuesday. Coast Guard spokesman Ko Myung-suk says the diver, identified only as Lee, had trouble breathing after reaching a depth of 25 meters or 82 feet. Lee lost consciousness and was eventually pronounced dead in hospital. A Korean news agency reports Lee was a veteran member of a maritime rescue work group. Lee is the first victim among the many divers trying to retrieve bodies from the ferry that sank in April 16. At least 10 other divers reportedly suffered exhaustion and decompression sickness since search operations began. 20 days since the ferry sank, 39 people remain missing, while 263 people died. In day 3 of Palarong Pambansa, 2 young swimmers set new records. Aimee Saavedra of NCR clocks in at 2 minutes and 16.72 seconds in the 200-meter freestyle event to take top honors and set a new record. In the 100-meter backstroke event for boys, NCR bet Seth Martin clocks in at 1 minute and 7.21 seconds, beating the previous record by 0.35 seconds. In archery, Mary Queen Ibanez of Ilocos region wins 2 golds in the 30-meter and 40-meter events. In football, defending champions Mimaropa follow up their close wins over Bicol and Caraga with a dominating performance over Northern Mindanao 7-2. It's a different story for Central Visayas. After averaging a winning margin of 9.5 goals in their first 2 matches, they squeaked past Zamboanga region with a 2-0 victory. Still on Palaro, a 15-year-old athlete from Region 8 wants to prove his physical disability won't stop him from excelling on the national stage. Jane Brasher reports.
15-year-old Francisco Arca didn't think his physical strength would change his life, but it did. Born without most of his fingers and toes, Francisco had a tough life before he was spotted lifting copra in Eastern Samar. He also struggled with his disability.
Pagtingin ko po sa sarili ko, normal lang po. Pero tulad po ng maraming tao, parang nahihiya po ako. Tinatago ko lang po ito.
When he thought things couldn't get worse, Super Typhoon Haiyan struck.
Wala na po kami nakikita kundi malakas na hangin at saka malakas lang na ulan. Kahit yung katabi ko hindi ko na po nakikita. Hindi naman po ako natawa sa sarili ko, sa pamilya ko lang yung inisip ko.
After the typhoon, he devoted most of his time to wrestling. He endured days away from his family when he competed in Metro Manila. He sees amateur wrestling as his ticket out of poverty.
So yung pangarap ko talaga sa kanya na makatapos ng pag-aral sa college para makatulong sa pamilya niya. So yun ang ano ko, na matulungan after high school because of his performance sa mga competitions.
Palarong pambansa is Francisco's dream come true.
Sabi ko, pag makapagpalaro pambansa po ako, gagawin ko pong lahat na manalo ko dahil ito lang talaga ang makaka-improve sa sarili ko.
But he doesn't plan on stopping there. He says he plans on traveling the world.
Francisco shows us one doesn't have to be physically perfect or wealthy to live a better life. You can come from humble beginnings and still become someone who makes a difference. What athletes like Francisco really need is a chance. Jane Brasher, Rappler, Laguna.
Let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 7, a rant on Twitter costs a PayPal executive his job. PayPal announces the exit of strategy director Rakesh Agarwal after a series of disparaging tweets about his co-workers, including PayPal's vice president for global communications. PayPal's Twitter account says Rakesh Agarwal is no longer with the company. Treat everyone with respect. No excuses. PayPal has zero tolerance. Agarwal blames the tweets on Twitter's new interface that posted publicly what he intended to be direct messages for a colleague. At number 9, the late king of pop Michael Jackson's posthumous album XSCAPE will be released on May 13. Its first single, Chicago, which debuted Monday, was recorded in 1999 but didn't make the cut for Jackson's 2001 album Invincible. XSCAPE is a compilation of unreleased tracks from 1993 up to 1999. Fans can hear previews of 5 other songs on Sony's Music Unlimited streaming service in the coming days. Jackson died in 2009 while preparing for his comeback tour. Sony was granted access to Jackson's archive of recordings for release. And at number 10, an upcoming Disney movie continues the trend of portraying villains as human, as seen in the hit Broadway musical Wicked and Disney's top-grossing animation Frozen. The film Maleficent is a retelling of the classic tale Sleeping Beauty from a villain's point of view. Played by Angelina Jolie, Maleficent is the protector of the forest kingdom in the Sleeping Beauty storyline. A betrayal turns her into a vengeful creature. Maleficent opens in cinemas on May 30. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com/The Wrap. Every story on Rappler has a mood meter which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. Click how you feel and your vote comes down to the mood navigator in the middle of the front page, which crowdsources the mood of the day. It also gives you the top 10 stories with the most clicks. Let's check out today's mood navigator. A quick look at the mood navigator. Let's see, let's start with this green circle here, far to the left. GMA 7 announces new post for Howie Severino is the rest of this sentence. That has 56% of readers feeling happy, 24% say they don't care, while 12% say they're amused. Over to the right, let's check out this yellow circle. Prepare for El Nido, use water wisely. This message is from the Palace. This has 65% of readers feeling afraid and 25% say they are sad. And right in the center, the only green circle, the others are light green. This story is a popular one. Study, firstborn girls most successful. This has 42% of people feeling inspired and 26% of people feeling happy. This story largely influences the mood of the day. Today, most people are happy. That's Rappler's Newscast for today, Tuesday, May 6, 2014. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel in our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Natasha Gutierrez. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.